What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So I just took on a pretty big risk. Now, it's not the largest risk to where it's going to risk everything that I own or anything like that. But I did take on a pretty significant opportunity that I think could play out in the long run in a positive way. So I wanted to talk about this, and I wanted to show you guys what I decided to do. Now, before I get into this video, I want to preface this video by saying I do not expect you guys to copy what I am doing. I do not expect that this is going to be the most profitable thing you could ever see out here. I decided to take this risk because I see some positive signs within it. I look at the history, and we've seen what has happened in cryptocurrency based on some of that history, and it shows me positivity, right? But it does not mean that you take on the same risk. It does not mean that you are not going to lose in this, because I am fully understanding that this money that I put into here can be completely gone in an instant. It could be halved in an instant, right? I do not want you guys to get involved in buying anything that you don't fully understand. So I want you guys, before you decide to do anything, research, research, research. Okay? No matter what I'm bringing across the table and how positive it sounds, I want you guys to research it and also put in your own expectation on what your risks will be if you decide to make any moves, right? None of this is financial advice. I'm merely just talking about a position that I am buying. Guys, if you could, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below for Patreon and for Twitter. And if you guys want to check out my link for BTCC, that link is down in the description. You guys can get a 10% deposit bonus when you specifically use my link. You can also get up to $10,000 worth of extra bonuses per user, 40% lower trading fees, and there is a giveaway going on right now. So for 3 people that sign up, deposit, and trade, you will have the chance to win 500 USDT. So out of all the people that sign up for the next 2 weeks, or I guess it would be the next week at this point, you would get a chance to win 500 USDT for free just by being a part of this platform. And just to let you know, there's only one person that actually signed up, deposited, and traded so far out of the first week, meaning that that person has a 100% chance that they are going to get this 500 USDT. So there's 2 other winners. Make sure you get your name in the hat. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about what we're doing today. I don't like to do this because I always feel like anything that has a decently low market cap could see a level of pumping or premature pumping before the altcoin season happens. But I want to be transparent and let people know what I'm deciding to buy so that if it is a loss, they can see that I lose money. If it is a gain, they can see what I've gained and what I did right within that situation, right? So this is why I'm bringing this to the table. But I was searching on Kraken, the portfolio where I invested into 100 cryptocurrencies. I put $5 into 100 different cryptocurrencies, and I wanted to see how things would really play out. And out of those, I ended up making some money on a play, and that play was Ren. I made a decent amount of money, but then it decided to come all the way back down and be worth a lot less. Where I've made a lot of money, but I also lost a lot of money from the high point that it was at. But as I go through this portfolio, you're going to see some of these plays that I have profit on, I have losses on, and we scroll all the way down here, you're going to see the ones that I have the most losses on. I have, Blur that I'm down to, or I guess 0.5 cents or 5 cents. I'm down $4.87 on this one, $4.83, and so on and so forth, right? Even though I saw the opportunity and saw the growth within it, I'm down the most on some of those plays. However, I'm still up on some other plays that we have there, but this is hit or miss, right? I have 100 different cryptocurrencies at low market caps where I put $5 in each of them. So some of them are at losses, some of them are at significant gains. XRP being one of those that's at significant gain, Algorand, significant gain, and so on and so forth. Throughout this, I saw Ren, right? Ren went from being worth, multiple cents where it was at to now being worth fractions of a penny. And when I saw that, I was like, this might be an opportunity. So let me look into why we're seeing that fall. That was in the last 2 years that we've seen that make that move. So within Ren, it currently stands at 0.0079, right? 80% of a penny. It is at an $8 million market cap. If we look at the history, this has been at a $1 billion market cap, and it currently stands in an $8 million market cap. I was just claiming to people on live stream that I've never been a part of something that started at a single digit million market cap and has grown to hundreds of millions. I've seen things that have done it. I've talked about things that have done it. I just never have been a part of something that went from single digit millions to multiple billions of dollars worth of a market cap. And if I have, which would have been Terra Luna Classic when it fell all the way back down, I only invested a small amount, $43 into that play. I wanted to find a play that has the history, that has the growth potential, that has the speculation and lack of belief in some way that you could possibly see it run, but you could also see it fall. But there's more of a chance to see it increase from where it's at. So this was that play. I looked at it and I was like, if I get $100 worth, where does that take me now? It would get me 1,000 some odd coins. If I invest $1,000, what would it get me? Right? It would get me 10,000. If I invested, or $100, I guess it would be, I guess $1,000 was like 100,000 coins that I could have gotten. And I said, you know what? Let me go all in on this position. I decided to go all in on this low market cap play and invest $5,000 into it. Now I made a mistake. I'll just let you know. I made a mistake. I bought directly on Kraken's website and not the exchange. So they gave me a weird price that I purchased it at, as well as a larger fee because I bought $5,000 worth rather than buying it on the exchange, depositing the money, buying it on the exchange, and being able to get 600,000, 620,000 worth. But nevertheless, I still bought a lot. So I'm going to go over to Kraken again, and you're going to see how much we have of Ren in our possession. So I currently have $4,745 of Ren, or about 600,000 Ren in my possession. This is very, very risky because Ren coin has seen some significant drops and is not seeing the level of volume that you would expect. Right now, it's seeing $530,000 worth of volume. So it is definitely a very, very, very risky play. And I do not expect anybody to make this move because it does not tell you that this is going to be the most popular play right now. You're not seeing the volume. You're not seeing the level of respect in it. You do have the ability to buy on tier one exchanges, 40 different platforms, not Coinbase, not Binance, or anything like that. It's only really Kraken, BingX, KuCoin. So you have the ability to buy on these platforms, but you're not seeing a lot of volume. 55,000, 19,000. We're not talking about millions. We're talking about thousands. So it is definitely very, very risky. Community sentiment is 82% bullish versus 18% bearish. Now, what's the reasoning or what's the developments behind Ren? Right? Continued fallout from FTX and Alameda collapse. The project has been contending with the fallout from its 2021 acquisition by Alameda Research, the trading firm associated with FTX and FTX bankruptcy. The Ren bridge, which relied on a centralized multi-sig, collapsed, severely eroding trust in the project. So it was more about the trust, but definitely the fallout. And typically when you see fallout, I like to kind of invest into fallout so long there's any type of hope, any type of push, because that can provide very, very large gains in the end. You have decentralization delays. Previous plans to decentralize the network through a gray core, a third party of validators, first announced in 2021, have not been finalized, and the roadmap is outdated. 100,000 REN token bond required to run a dark node remains high barrier to entry for many users, even though 100,000 is not a crazy amount now. It was then. Lingering centralization trust issues in June of 2025. Analysts noted that while the team was attempting to come back, persistent trust issues from FTX collapse and whale dominance in the token supply remain key risks. As you see the growth, you will have larger whales that decide to sell off because it's at a $7 million, $8 million market cap. As you see the growth, people make a lot of money, especially people that invest tens of thousands of dollars to then turn that into hundreds of thousands of dollars very, very quickly on a quick turnaround. But some bearish sentiment, while the price has shown some recent speculative rallies, sentiment remains mixed to bearish, with some technical indicators pointing towards a weakness or a weakening long-term trend. So again, as I look into it, it's insanely risky. I don't expect anybody to make these moves. The reason why I decided to make it was because I haven't been a part of one of those plays. And I feel like this is a little bit of an opportunity to be a part of that, at least for me. It doesn't mean that you guys can see the same thing. It doesn't mean that we will 100% see the same thing, but I'm willing to take that risk with a lesser amount of money than putting in tens of thousands of dollars. So if everything fails, I don't lose everything that I own or lose a crazy amount. I lose a decent amount, a healthy amount that I would be upset with, but it's not something that would stop me from trading cryptocurrency or believing in cryptocurrency. Do you know what I mean? So, anyways, guys, this is the play that I made. This is the play that I went all in on. I honestly don't have any money to purchase cryptocurrency right now because of taxes that are going to be coming up, and I'm getting ready for those, getting ready for bigger purchases, and getting ready for the holiday season, all of that stuff. I don't have any money to purchase, but I decided to throw a decent amount in there, which again won't break the bank. It will just be something where I have to work a little bit harder now in order to get some of that money back if all fails. But guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I want to know what you guys think about this play. Is it a good play? Is it a bad play? Do you think it's going to absolutely crash or be worth nothing? Or do you think that it actually could have some insight? Because again, I look at it and from a perspective of history dictates what the future will bring. Yes, you have the history of the collapse in 2021. The pickup in 2021, the collapse in 2021, and a very, very low price, talking about literally a $7 million market cap, $8 million market cap where we stand. So let me know what you think. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.